I recently had the privilege of rolling with PJ Barch, who's one of the best jiu-jitsu competitors in the world. And I'm lucky enough to get to sit down with PJ to discuss our role. And if you like what you see after watching this video and you're in the San Diego area, be sure to check out PJ's school, 10th Planet South Bay. What's up, PJ?
Hey, what's going on, Jake?
Not much. I just got back from San Diego and I'm excited to dive into our role
Yeah.
together.
Yeah, let's go take a look, man.
Cool. Maybe just give some context. Like this was you and I's first round of the day, and we're both kind of getting warmed up before training. I'll just, I guess, walk you through my thought process here, and then maybe you can kind of give your insights, and then we can just kind of move on to the next sequence as we work through the round.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So what I've been like thinking about recently when I'm grip fighting against the seated open guard is I'm been trying to take a cross grip on their like lead hand because they're generally going to try and do an inside reach to wrestle up with a single leg or something like this.
Yeah.
So you can see I do cross grip and I have like this hand as like a down block almost just as like a secondary reinforcement. But I'm like
Nice.
basically like don't wrestle up on me, PJ. We just started and we're warming up here. Um, so this was my kind of thought process behind the grip initiation. But then you do a beautiful little wrist pummel to take a grip
Yeah.
on me. This was very clean.
This is how I deal with a lot of wrist grips, is like turning their grips into your grips, right? And I think like being able to get that up grip and pull you across, I can almost free space on that side of your leg a little bit, right?
Very nice. Yeah.
Well, I don't know where
Um,
it goes, but
yeah. I've been very much enjoying these upward facing grips. I think it just gives you much more access to the legs, and I really
yeah,
like
from
these.
from guard it's amazing
Yeah,
for sure.
exactly. So then from here, like again, what I'm kind of thinking about is like if you have a grip with your right arm, I'm trying to put you on your right hip generally, because this right arm of yours is going to be the one that's doing a lot of your connection and like offense, basically.
Yes, yes.
So I'm trying to put you on this hip to make you either choose, like, am I going to go into offense and like let go of this to grab your leg or whatever? So that was my thought process here. Um, and then we kind of settle down into this like reverse De La Hiva type situation. Yeah. And then I'm on the Joseph hype right now of trying to just get scoop grips everywhere I can. So yeah, I was trying to do this here. But your foot on my shoulder is a really good frame. So I was trying to deal with that. And I think
Yeah,
I
this is cool. Like I think partly like I think and Nogi weaving in like to that lasso is almost bad. Like when you watch how Joseph deals with it and guys deal with it. So like I think when you watch like Levi, for instance, he just posts on the shoulder a lot right there. And I think this is really smart. And especially from like reverse De La Hiva. When I was training with Ryan Hall and Adam Benayoun, um, they were talking a lot about marking the shoulder anytime they inside spin from reverse De La Hiva. So
mm,
like they would always say like anytime they're about to inside spin, they mark the shoulder. So they kind of tap the shoulder, they give it a press to lighten that front leg a little bit before they inside spin. And so I've always done that ever since. Like it's been a few years of doing that.
very
And I
nice.
think that's kind of what I go for a little bit.
Yeah, this is exactly what you go for. I think I kind of help you with that because I like lean my weight very far to my far leg to try and like alleviate that frame a bit. And I think you also push me that way. But that then you go into this kiss of the dragon inside spin. Oops. Um, and this is where I kind of get like lost in the sauce a bit, to be honest. So um, yeah, you can see like I'm trying to like figure out what to do. Actually, let me just show you. Um, pull up a new tab here. Our boy Joseph did this in CJI.
Oh, did it?
Let's see if this is the clip.
Nice. The database is too good, man.
Yeah. Okay. So you could see when Max goes in, it's like not quite, reverse tail Hiba, but he takes out this
Yeah.
foot and goes into that kiss of the dragon. Oops.
Mhm.
And Joseph clears that foot to his other hip and then weights this foot and like steps over to weight that foot and then passes, like, or escapes. So this is what
Yeah.
I had in my mind And you can see I'm like, which foot? Like, I kind of get like lost in the sauce a bit. I'm like,
Yeah,
which foot?
I was already a bit behind your knees too much, I think, at that point, right?
And you had my second leg already.
Mm, yeah. Because what Joseph depends on a lot is that external rotation of that front knee, like his right knee. He's
Mm,
gonna externally rotate that across your body a lot as he's doing this. So it's his superpower, you
like
know. So
this.
like, yeah, and then as he follows through too, right? Like, watch as soon as this point starts to hit, you see how he's like kind of externally rotating, and then he all the way through on the slide right there. He's just doing that like kind of pigeon squat with his foot.
Yeah, that's a very good detail, actually. Um,
But in reality, like it's just my ability to connect to both your legs and stay behind both your knees. You know what I mean?
right,
Because like e- even Joseph has trouble when I stay sticky to both of his legs behind his knees. You know, but as soon as one starts to clear in some kind of way, he's a nightmare facing back into you. You know,
right.
just kind of elected to get into some canard stuff here.
Yo,
Slash Lachlan slash Mikey.
yep, going for the spin the leg. I'm trying to keep my secondary leg inside, and kind of from what I've seen, like the people who I think defend this well, like it's kind of interesting because I feel like in order to pummel my secondary leg in, I want to turn onto my right hip in this scenario. But I've also seen people defend it well by like since you're rotating like away from the camera, as a
Yeah.
defender, if I rotate away from the camera as well, it becomes kind of hard for you to enter into the leg. So I elected to stay on this hip instead of rotating, but I think that would have maybe been a better defensive route for me to go.
Yeah, right. Because generally, you're putting that back hook in. I've just heard it called a back hook, and this helps to like create space, but also like maybe slow their secondary leg from spinning so well. And then if you're not turning your leg or like sitting to your left hip there, then you're allowing just a lot of access underneath, right? And so I think like staying more square with your hips instead of turning to allow them to like have all the access to get underneath your legs right there.
Right. So would you try to pummel this foot in, but just be more square?
I think what I would do is I would like see how you have a left grip on my ankle right there?
Yeah.
I would try to almost pin that down and work my knee behind work your left knee behind my left.
Right.
Does that make sense?
It does. Yeah,
And
so
then you're
this would
kind
be
of
more
like
of like a pulling grip, like pulling your leg into my shin.
exactly, like
Yeah,
pulling and pushing down and then creating like a wedge behind me right there.
I
And then
see.
I think like you could even start to see your own crab ride situation if you started to like if you did manage to get behind that knee and you reach with your right hand
Yep.
to my right hip, you could start to clear my hook on your hip and start to like kind of chase towards the back yourself or re-entangle in a different way.
Nice. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so let's move on to the next note. Okay, so yeah, I'm attacking from De La Hiva. I'm trying to do like a berimbolo type motion, but again, you do a really good job of doing this. Joseph external rotation of your knee, and
Mm.
you're monitoring my leg here to make it hard for me to get behind your knee. Um,
Yeah. I if you go back, there's like some pretty cool little tips right here, right? The first is like posting my right hand to the mat as you start to invert and then trying to work my left foot or shin in front of your shin as I like turn that knee towards the mat too. So like see how like I'm trying to get my foot
yeah,
in between right there. Like sometimes it's a shin, sometimes it's a foot. And then as people get really good at like diving underneath your back, you have to have your right hand posted to the mat, like mine is right here, to slide my hips away. See how I'm moving my hips away right there?
yeah,
So like this is what I did a lot with I think Levi maybe, but like just trying to like and then pull your knee down towards the mat in that like pigeon pose type of situation right there.
mhm,
Right.
very nice.
But
Yeah,
this is a really fun game to play right here.
yeah. This I think is a good like counter example to the way like basically I was trying to do the same thing to you earlier in the match, and my knee stays very upright.
Yeah, there's
Um,
like a ton of access underneath your knee right there. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. You get behind the knee. Um, so yeah, my thought process here was like I'm not going to commit to the bolo, um, and I thought like your grip on my ankle kind of gave me like indirect control over your arm and allows me to use my arm to take an underhook and wrestle up was kind of my thought process here, but I do so right into a guillotine.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I think, like, part of what, like, pinning wise, like, if you go back, this is not a bad idea at all, but I think when I come up with that underhook, I also try to drive my right knee up into their far hip.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, so obviously your posture is a bit of an issue right there, but outside of that, like, you also like, you can see I'm gonna start hip heisting out a little bit
right,
right here, it
right.
looks like. And so, like, if you can start driving your knee across my hip on that side a little bit, you can help pin my hips and then find, like, your head block or something to start passing. But when you bring your knee to that near hip, it kinda gives me, like, a lot of space still to move my hips out and just like, I have a lot of options to keep moving from here.
This is honestly one of my favorite things. I've stolen this from you since then. I've used it 2 or 3 times since I've come back.
Yeah,
Um,
that's cool.
y- yeah, from this. So we get into this inverted front headlock. Um, And generally from here, like when I'm escaping a guillotine, I just basically post on your hips, roll to the side, and then just keep rolling to the side of your overhook from this position. But when I try to roll to the side of your overhook, you extend your arm to prevent my rotation. This
Mhm.
is, again, something I've stolen from you. I've used it 2 or 3 times since. I love it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, this seems to work really well. I used to do this a lot when people would like when I would rotate them and like they would try to spin really fast and so like they do exactly what you do here where they go that direction really hard and then you kind of stop them and I'll even get like a little sometimes like a little meat hook on their arm and then
Mhm.
they turn the other way and a lot of times I use that turn to like push their arm in and go to like an anaconda or something like that, which I don't really do here, but you can
You were
see what
thinking
kind
about
of
it.
could have showed up, right?
You were thinking about it right
Yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so to get back to our knees, I'd use like a little, you probably could have anacondaed me there if you sent it.
I don't know, it's tough with the redrag, like, this is good. Yeah,
Okay.
this is good.
Yeah, I just tried to focus on getting my head, to the inside and,
This is sick.
um, re-dragging, and then you re-drag me,
That's
causing
the
my foot to come up. This is actually quite funny. Um,
I guess a good sweep.
yeah. So this is my, what I think I should have done better, and then maybe you could, first of all, I really like this
Oh, I
grip
saw your
point.
notes. Yeah, yeah, I saw your notes on this. This is great. Yeah, you had great
Okay.
notes.
Um,
Go to the thing and
okay.
see if the notes pop up. Yeah, right here.
Yeah. So you have a scoop grip here. So there's no real threat of like heel exposure. So I think what I should have done differently is right now my right arm here is grabbing your butterfly hook. Um, and then you off balance me very nicely. So I think grabbing the butterfly hook makes sense when you have like an Achilles grip or something like this. So then if you reap, you can't like threaten a heel hook right away. Like monitoring this leg makes sense when there's a heel hook threat. But since there's no heel hook threat, I think I should have focused more on your bottom leg and like monitoring your bottom leg and maybe using this hand to anchor onto your upper body in some sort of way.
Mhm. Yeah, I think the things I would add is, like, I think that's really cool to focus on the bottom leg when it's scoop grip like this, especially because, like, even if you're getting beat there really bad, the main thing I have is a wrestle up there, right? That would be kinda like the foundational thing I have is a wrestle up, and if you control the bottom leg, you control their, like, typical heist leg, you know? And, like, if I had to go and heist off of my left leg there and you had my right leg under control or like you picked it up from right there or something like that, then obviously like I couldn't build height on you there. And so I do think that monitoring that back leg is really important. The other thing I like so you know, maybe it's just maybe I add, but if you do reach with your upper body for like my head here or my elbow or something like that, it's kind of okay. But if you can see like my left foot is attached to your body
Hmm.
and it only stays attached to like your abdomen when you're bent over right there. And so like I actually like when people when I'm like in these positions and they bend over to grab onto things because I attach that foot to their body and I use it to like elevate them quite high and bring their legs really close together and stuff like that.
I think this is better. Where I'm like keeping my hips more square, kind of flaring my knee out, and then trying to grip fight a bit. I don't know what your thoughts are on it, but um,
This looks good for sure. I think turning away is a problem there for sure.
Right. Yeah, my idea was basically like try and stay balanced until I can get a grip on your wrist, and then I could post on this hook and then work. So I have a grip on your wrist, and I try to front step around
Yeah, this is great. Yeah, yeah, this is
your
great.
hook. Yeah. Little note here. Yeah, this is quite cool. This again, the Lucas Kennard Lachlan kind of game here. Um, you
But see,
pass
this
my
is
leg
where
over.
that's where I messed up. Like I put it on the right side, but if I wanted to do it how Lachlan does it, he keeps his right hand at the knee, and then that my left hand should go up and to my shoulder, right? I'm pretty sure that's see, I have it opposite here.
You know, it's
This is more like how Mikey would do it, but where he would control the heel instead.
I think Lachlan refers to it as like a reverse a steam lock type thing. Let's see if we got it. So yeah, there's the knee thing you're talking about, right?
No, but
Yeah.
this is different too, though. Oh, interesting.
You know who else I saw do this was Taylor Pearman.
Interesting. Yeah, it's just all about, like, finding those toes before you roll, right? Because once you're
Right.
there, like, it's hard to find like, get them in there, but if you can get them there and then make the spin, it's kind of a good set.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's new to me.
Yeah, this is I think a really good one. Um that we kind of talk about after
Yeah.
the round where you don't even have like that good of a leg entanglement or anything. You just do such a good job of getting my hands to the mat.
Yeah, I
Um,
remember it's all from, like, practicing K-guard a lot, right? It's like I've seen Taza do this years ago, where, like, they bring this like the inside leg to tap the shoulder and then replace it with the other leg too. I don't think I replaced it, but like you can use this one to move them forward, the one that's currently on there. And then if you can clear your other leg, I can replace that one there and then move my foot that's in your armpit back to like a K guard position, right?
right. Yeah.
But it wasn't even entangled like on a K guard per se, right? I was just kind of using it to get your hands towards the mat.
Yeah.
Also, the control on both your feet was helpful, right? I could
Definitely.
kind of like lift a little bit.
I like a lot of times from K guard, they do monitor the far leg.
Mhm.
And this is a good way of kind of using that like indirect control type thing we've been talking about, where like if I want to keep this grip, it exposes my armpit for this type of
Yeah.
pummel that you did. Yeah,
Uh,
it's very nice. Here's you outside. This is something I've been trying to do. I don't know if you have any thoughts on it, but like I saw Mikey teach it, and I've just been kind of messing with it. But like instead of framing with this arm, I kind of reach through and grab your tricep like this, um, and I found it like kind of helps minimize your options with this arm. And even if you do pass into side control, I have an underhook, and I'm able to like come up to my knees and initiate a bit of a scramble.
mm.
Um, so that's what I was trying to mess with here. But,
Yeah, I haven't quite
yeah.
seen that. It does work as a frame anyways too, right? Like your elbow's still in between us. You know what he's trying to do with it exactly?
You know, I don't really know, this is me just kinda guessing, and it was, man, I wonder if I could find it real quick, map to see how he was doing it he was teaching it, to Keyvon in this,
Oh, I
little
see.
sequence here, and you can see he kinda comes on the inside and takes this, like, tricep grip,
Mhm.
um, until he can replace it with that foot on the shoulder, kinda like what you were talking about. Um, but yeah, it's just something I've been trying to mess around with.
Mhm.
You might have been a bit tight maybe for me to, use it effectively, but
Maybe, yeah, different positioning.
yeah.
I think for me, like the most success I've had is like just trying to like move. Like if you use that same hand, your right hand, to move my hip post hand towards the mat and move your hips out. This is like where I've had the most success. But yeah, framing and pushing out of J point is like almost counterintuitive. You're giving them what they want in a lot of cases, you know?
It's a losing battle.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then this is something you've been working on, yeah, the transition to these
Mm,
north-south grips,
yeah.
um, to pass into north-south.
Yeah. This is like Owen Jones 101 here.
Yeah. It
I
was, sorry,
I've
go.
tried this many times, like, to get into this north-south passing like this, but then I always bust my eyebrow on somebody's knees and I bleed easily, so I just stop doing it afterwards. Like, it happens
Gotcha,
every time. I try to burrow my head and then I get cut and then I have to get stitches and then I never go north-south again.
gotcha. Chase the hips instead.
Yeah.
Okay, this is just, I think, terrible on my part. So, yeah, like I said, I've been, like, tunnel vision on this, like,
Yeah,
under the
yeah,
legs
yeah.
passing, and, my thought process here was I'm already over your bottom knee, so it's hard for me to take a scoop grip on your bottom knee like you usually would from butterfly half guard. So I was like, "Let me just
Yeah.
try and take a scoop grip on this leg," and what I was gonna do was go into that, yeah, this one, where Joseph uses that, like, little hip switch thing. So, like, from the double scoop grips, when they try and insert their butterfly hook, you kinda, switch your hips to do it.
Mhm,
So I
mhm,
was like, "Oh, I'm gonna take a butterfly hook and then quickly do, like, a hip switch to, like, clear it." But this
mhm.
was a terrible idea, and my hip switch basically led to you off balancing me very easily with that butterfly sweep.
I think in a lot of cases too, when they do that hip switch, they have 2 scoops.
Yeah,
Is that the case, I think?
yeah. First, that was the case with Joseph,
Mm.
there, yeah.
I think I usually do it with 2 scoops. You know what I found can help, a lot with those, like, when you're trying to go when you're in that half butterfly situation where you're at, if you do feel like you're getting elevated and I mean, it's gonna be tough for you just because I have that kinda arm drag grip,
Mm,
but just generally being able to, like, pummel your right foot in as you start to feel elevated helps so much, like, just putting yourself in headquarters, like, I'm always trading like, right here, when you feel this, if you pummel that in right there and
mm,
then kinda stomped your foot through, you might be able to stay more square with me and then, like, pull your arm from that and reset your positioning a little bit.
mm.
Does
Very
that make
nice.
sense?
It does make, and it seems like that space is gonna be there because, like,
Yeah,
they're
because
splitting their
you have
leg.
to drop it to start doing this, right?
Exactly,
It's the
yeah.
upper.
So then we end up, in this, like, octopus style position, and, again, I think I take, like, a very bad grip here. Like, I take like, the battle is for you to get your knee outside of my knee, right, basically,
Mm,
and I take this grip, and my thought process here was maybe I could pull your leg, like, up to my hip to, like, shelf it. Um, this
mm,
is very, very bad, and
mm. So,
basically
like, to control the heist leg in some kinda way, I see.
exactly, yeah. Um, but you are basically very easily able to free your knee and get it behind my knee and take the back. I think maybe see if Joseph has one. When in doubt, study Joseph.
Oh, man.
Oh, perfect one. Yeah, I think taking a grip like this would be better, where like you're pinning it to the mat as opposed to my grip was like behind your leg, you know. So there
Yeah.
was nothing stopping your knee from going like behind this
Mhm.
way. Like this grip, no good. And then maybe more of a pinning grip to the mat to control your heist leg would be better.
Yeah, and I think just, like, moving your hips, like, out and towards my head too, you know what I mean? Like, I think, like, just body positioning here is gonna help you a lot.
Yeah. This seems to be like the classic way to escape, where you just jump over their head almost. Yeah.
Mhm.
Like this type of thing.
Yeah, yeah, and it doesn't
Like,
have to always be that big of a movement, but, like, just going, like, over their head, like, towards their head is gonna slow their prop and their ability to build height there. It's just a height battle going on, and this is, like, kind of a big extreme example of that, but, like, if you can just kinda move and get your hips higher than their head a lot of times and stuff like that, then you're gonna be in a better spot, so just, like, moving your hips around and towards my head and trying to flatten me again.
Right. Yeah,
Some
this makes this I was basically doing the opposite. I was like I said, I
committed
think
to my
about
hips a lot.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, good call. All right, so now you're chasing my back and you have a bottom hook in place, basically like overhook side, and you're controlling my hip really well. So I was like, I can't do like a turning escape really and like turn to my knees. So I decided to do like that classic like headlock escape where I throw my arm to the other side of your head. Um,
Yeah, I saw that in your notes and I was curious because I didn't know I don't know what this escape I don't know this escape per se.
Gotcha. Let me see if I can find a clip.
Yeah.
Gordon used to do it a lot.
Is it when they take the, like, arm over like this?
It's
Like the baseball
slightly
bat grip?
different.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah, like that.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. Obviously, different context here, but you just
Yeah,
try and
yeah,
get
yeah.
your arm to the side. So basically, you're in like a headlock.
Uh-huh. You're just trying to free your elbow back across their body, and you kinda start with the head.
Yes, exactly. I think they do it a lot, like off of. I think I talked about it here in this video, which is why. So like Nikki tries to do it here,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Oh, yeah, and then that's when they do these, like, twists, body triangle twisters and things like that too.
right. This is what I was thinking I could do. Um,
Yeah.
but then you basically established your bottom hook again, and then I was
Yeah.
like, I basically just put myself in a twister.
I mean, we weren't going too hard, but I think if you moved your hips out a lot quicker, like,
Right.
you obviously had like the elbow space behind me that you just need to move your hips before I synced in that. I do a lot of big front trips, man. So like, I don't know if that's helpful at all to people's games here, but like your bottom leg right here, if you could just do a big front trip where you reach your leg out further and then front trip and throw your hips towards the ceiling, it immediately disrupts that lower hook right there, you know?
Right. Yeah. Probably don't just chill in that position. This is me joking that we didn't have enough twisters in the database, so I wanted you to give me a twister so I could add it to our.
That was the first twister I've done in years, probably.
Thanks.
You got to shout Eddie Bravo right there.
Yeah. This is again you just trying to go to your north south passing. I think
Yeah,
this
which I rushed it a ton there. So, like, that's why I ended up in, like, a pretty good spot where your knees were or where you ended up in a good spot with your knees more in front of me, right? Like,
yeah.
I didn't really clear that space in between your knees before I started going for it.
I'm glad I didn't knee you in the head. That would have been.
See, and maybe that's my issue, right? Maybe that's my issue. I'm rushing it.
Yeah, this far knee kind of got in and disrupted your head position a bit. And then we get into this like tornado guard type situation. I get control over both your legs,
But I think
and yeah,
even, like, right here-ish, you know, like, if you use, like a knee like a baby bolo type of situation with your, I think it's your left knee right there in my armpit, you could do the same thing where you move me forward. You
right.
know what I mean? Or you just let your I don't know, but you're in, like, what, tornado guard or something like oh, no, you're in this, classic John Danaher, Kanabasami victory roll situation. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is what I had in my mind, but I like that idea of like similar to how you use your foot in my armpit before. You're saying use my knee in your armpit
Yeah,
to
yeah.
achieve that same effect. Yeah, I like this because basically I was trying to just think about getting into your leg and
There's also right here where I see people have success too is just like throwing their butt up into their chest. You know what I mean? Like, so like you try to like, again, this is like another like classic ground the hips, ground the hands situation where like you can start like pulling on my hamstrings and trying to like sometimes you see people threaten a lot of like reverse close in these situations too, because it makes people sit back a lot and then it gives them more access underneath the legs and stuff like that as they go backwards. So like, yeah, pushing back into me or like moving me forward over my hands or something.
you know that makes a lot of sense. Um, you can see I
Like this
kind of
was good. This was really good right here. Like that you got my leg trapped like this because I shouldn't now have like a base on that right side of my hip very well.
yeah. I was trying to exploit it. I think I was trying to like push off of my shin here, to like off balance you this way as I pulled, but like I
I think the
was
more important thing you could do right there is like if you can flare your knee that's in the middle towards my hip. You know what I mean? Without falling to your own hip, obviously, but like being able to like either lock a figure of four or use like your knee wedge where you have it right there. But you need like a counter force on like the inside of my femur because you like obviously have your hand at the like the bottom of the lever right there and you're pulling that one in, but there's nothing at the top of the lever really there on my femur, like pushing my hips over a little bit to like to, lighten my left leg.
I like this a lot. I was focused on this leg, but my attention this leg is basically useless.
Mhm.
Yeah, I like that. This is were you trying to do that long range like Joseph style butterfly half guard passing?
Remember what happened here, but yeah, it wasn't set up very well. I know that. Oh, I was very high. I think maybe I can't remember. I was rewatching this thinking something was wrong with it, but definitely like I'd rather have my hand closer to your hip and my elbow closer to the top of your thigh. You know what I mean? I think this is where like my positioning was a little bit off on this one for sure.
Interesting. I thought you were doing a really good job of like using your upper body. You could see like you're trying to even get your head behind my elbow.
Mm,
Like my
yeah.
elbow and knee connection is like non-existent here.
Mm.
But
I think
kind of
once I did this though, I probably needed to slide my elbow back towards your hip.
right. Once you passed off that responsibility to your head, your
Yeah.
hand can go back. Because I did feel like my knee could come up to your armpit, like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
to close off the space. Yeah. Um, but yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And then you go wedge.
I've been doing this from a lot of like silly positions on top like that.
This is
Where they
nice.
extend their leg. It's happening in a false reap for me a lot too. Like I've been finding on some pretty good guys that are trying to false reap me, and like before they even clear my leg all the way, when they're extending through and coming under, I'll kind of bolo on that top leg a little bit.
Nice.
But I think in all of these, like now I'm trying to like use that wedge to just slide into a baby bolo and then into like an entanglement or into like a leg drag and come up with the hips or something because
Right.
I'm not having a ton of success. Like I tried to go wedge on Lucas, and probably that was like something that he's so used to.
A little ambitious. I mean, it still defended the leg entanglement, yeah. So,
For
like,
sure,
worst case, you get out, but,
for sure.
um, yeah, so right here, like, ever since I saw Tommy do this, I've been trying to do this, like, when I get put in the wedge, um, I try and bring this foot, like, on top of their, um, thigh like this.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you make a video about this a long time ago?
Maybe, I don't remember, it's a blur,
I've
all the
seen I've seen somebody talk about this a long time ago, actually.
but you could this
Maybe I
is
saw it on an Instagram reel or something.
gotcha. This is my thought process. So you get bowled, this foot like tucks back towards your own butt. So then you can use the momentum to come up and then you start looking to like attack their
Right,
legs.
yeah, this is great.
Yeah.
I remember this, bro. I was sampling this for a little while myself. That's really cool.
It's so clean.
There's
Um,
some really good wedge, like, follow-ups and counters, I think that's, like, a whole world in there in itself, like, once you kinda go to that wedge, obviously, like, it's gonna be hard to take somebody's back really clean off of it now, but, like, there's a lot of cool follow-ups, and there's a lot of cool counters from the other guy too.
yeah. Yeah. But obviously it doesn't work here. But yeah, I was trying to, I think maybe, I don't know. I led too much with my knee or something. I don't know. You could see it. And
I
then,
think that takes some real flexibility too,
yeah.
like, whatever Tommy was doing right there, like, it requires your hips to open up so much to get your foot in. It might not just be for anybody, but, like, later, what he did too was he just wedged, like, after he got his foot to the inside, he just wedged his knee inside the thigh, it looked like to me. So, like, you can get away with not having to get your toes in between first. Like, he goes toes first, but then, like, they kinda slip, and then he just uses his knee anyways.
Yeah. That's true.
So, just being more stubborn about, like, getting your knees into that, like,
Right.
position right there might have been good.
But I feel like this grip on my hip made it hard for me to
Mm,
jump over the way I wanted to. So this was nice. And then I couldn't get around to this side, so I was like, "Oh, let me try and get behind your knees," basically.
I
Um,
think this is exactly what I did with my right foot right here,
yeah, exactly. And
and I
then
assisted it with my hand a little bit, yeah.
so clean, very clean. this, I didn't even realize you did this until I watched the video, and I was like, "Dang, that was sick." Um, so I'm trying to do that, like, escape from the underhook side, where you, like, slip your shoulder inside. I don't know if you've seen this one, where, like, my hips kinda go down towards the mat.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Mhm.
yeah, so I, like, extend my own arm trying to slip my elbow inside, but then you lock up this, like, I've heard it called a farce. But yeah, so clean.
Dude, funny story. I saw a purple belt post this like 3 years ago on like some like random gym in like Lebanon or something, and
Right.
I was like, oh man, that was slick. He was like a really long dude, and I was like, that's kind of cool. And then I started doing it in the gym and stuff. And then like a year or two later, I saw somebody hit it in competition, and it's like this the secret was out on it. But yeah, I've been playing with it for a little while for sure.
Nice.
Bro, watching you operate the database right now is really cool. Like
Thanks.
watching you, because I can't use it that well yet. I have tried, but the fact that you're just adding those hashtags so quickly to each other is really, really cool. I mean, yeah, really cool. I'm surprised at how well that thing works. So
Thanks.
yeah, man, I'm stoked. The round was fun, and yeah, maybe we can break down some more matches in the future or something.
Yeah, for sure.
You know when you have me like entangled pretty good
Yeah.
with like Kanawasami in the secondary leg. I should have weighted my hands. You know what I mean? Like brought my weight forward more.
Right.
You know, I think playing that dilemma between like putting my hips down, putting my hands on the mat there, like you could have really like started to put me down or like have something show up right there. Like you just kind of like change your entanglements and things like that, right?
Yeah.
You notice how sometimes like I didn't even have a great position and I would still just be like working your hands to the mat to then start working in these positions.
I don't even know what connection you had. There was one. It was like instantly my hands were on the mat and you went like crab right or something. But that off balance was super good. It was right away.
Yeah, I think playing these games like just like a full 8 minutes of just different entanglements, but just putting their hands on the mat and keeping them there has been really helpful for things, right? So like, it definitely changed my focus in these entanglements and things like that. Even sometimes, like I said before, I'm even like entangled, I'm more focused on just getting your hands to the mat and then entangle, right?
Yeah, your outside camping was really good too. You were transitioning north south.
Yeah, I was just playing around. Dima wanted me to play with that a little bit. So
Yeah.
like, I'd usually probably like be playing a little bit more back towards the hips. That was been like a big focus of mine.
Yeah.
It was like getting to like whatever position is outside here, and then working back on this one to the hips.
Right. This is what you used to do. This is what you were doing.
This is what I've been trying to get better at. Right? And then, but Dima wanted me to focus here like today.
Yeah.
So I'm just feeling it a little bit. It's easier than getting to the hips, that's for sure. Hips is like these fucking knees are in the way all the time.
Yeah. And
So,
I've been trying to work that like under the legs passing like jitsu style, but every time I would bring my arm under, you would arm drag it and sumigation me to that time.
we've been doing it a lot in here, so we're getting used to like a lot of this stuff. You know, I feel like I'm getting so good at this like dumb one here where like I just send the knee lower, you know what I mean? And like get good.
Yeah, I've been trying to like, it seemed like Joseph when he was doing it, would do it like off of like a butterfly half guard, like this, and then like this type of thing, and then drop his hand, and then switch sides.
This is what he just did with Max, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to do that, and I would put this hand here, and you would arm drag it, and then I would just get.
Oh yeah, this is what was happening, right?
Yeah. So my head position probably needs to be better or something.
I think it's your weight's a bit forward, right? Maybe like, I think when I'm going here, like the one like to make sure underneath this frame.
Yeah.
So I think this might be helpful for like not getting swept, and I'm like, I'd be a bit lower here.
Yeah.
And then like Joseph comes like high because he's trying to like eat under this one.
Right.
And then he slips into this.
Right.
And then like pretty immediately.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Like forcing that retraction in the leg.
Yeah, it's just blending a lot of these things. This has been like one of the most useful parts of my game recently. From under too. Like under's really good at like hugging this hip. Yeah. And then sending the shoulder into this. This is what Levi does too, right?
Yeah.
And Levi would always go
Like that.
here. Which I've been doing a bit more. I told Kenta about it. I saw he's been doing it recently ever since I told him I was like, yeah, see Levi just really throw this one by. And Kent is getting good at this too, like this movement, which is another gi movement, right? Where they like try to get.